All right, let's talk about type 2 malfunctions, guys. Your gun's not going to work 100% of the time. And what we find is of all the different types of malfunctions, newer shooters are subject to this one far more than any other type. A type 2 malfunction is something is jamming my slide open, right? It could be a lot of things. Could be a failure to extract. The casing didn't get pulled out properly. Could be a failure to feed. The slide is trying to feed my next round forward, but it's stuck. But at the end of the day, something is causing your slide to stay bound up. Your trigger is inoperable and your slide is stuck. So what do? When we're dealing with a type 1 malfunction, we hit it with a basic tap and rack, right? Finger off trigger, gun in a safe direction, smack the magazine, rack the slide, and it'll eject the problem thing or load your chamber. This isn't going to do that. It's not going to help at all. Tap and rack all day long. So the fix for a type 2 malfunction is remove the magazine, clear the obstruction if needed, reload the gun. Simple as that. So to unload, hit your magazine release button. Oftentimes it won't work, right? Why? Because that slide is binding the whole system up together. So we're going to hold the magazine release button, grab the magazine, strip it out. Side note here, if you don't have the base pad of your magazine exposed enough to grab onto it, you will need to lock the slide to the rear to then drop the mag. So we're going to take the pressure off that way. Once you've unloaded, clear the obstruction if it's still there. Then reload and get back to work. So remove the magazine, clear the obstruction, reload, and go back to work. That's how you fix a type 2 malfunction, guys. Now, when you're first starting out, guys, there's absolutely nothing wrong. When you go to remove that magazine, again, keeping finger off trigger and a muzzle in a safe direction, stripping that magazine out, nothing wrong with setting it down to clear your obstruction and then reloading it. But what we want to work up to after practicing is to not put our magazine down while we're doing it, right? Because you're not always going to have a shooting bench in front of you when your gun fouls up. So the goal is to eventually get to the point where we're stripping the magazine, then changing our grip so we've got our pincher fingers available, clearing that malfunction so that we can go ahead and reload, right? And that's type 2 malfunction, guys. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Unload, remove the magazine, clear the obstruction if it's there, reload, and get back to work. If your slide is jammed open, do that every time. You'll be good to go. All right, guys.